For better living, are you feeling good tonight? This thing got me thinking of life.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I did this beautiful boho. Actually, I would call this French curl crochet version, and here we go. So I started off with my hair slightly blown out, and I'll be doing a very unique braid pattern that would allow for the most natural finish. Now, my biggest regret with this particular hairstyle is the hair color that I chose. Now, look, I have a side of me that wants to explore and try new things and, new hair color and funky colors just for the fun of, just trying new things. And mind you, I don't really wear this. When I do a hair tutorial on YouTube, it literally ends on YouTube, because I like to experiment with color. However, in my real life, I'm very mundane, black hair color kind of gal. So typically when I do these hair tutorials, I take them off immediately, but I really like this hair and I was very, very curious to try it because, I feel like working with French curl is kind of difficult sometimes. So to have a crochet version that kind of mimics the realistic finished look of a French curl braid install, I was like, you know what, this is a win-win, and it is, an experiment that I'm willing to bet on. But to spice it up, let me pick a ginger color. Mistake number one. So unless maybe your natural hair color is like gingerish, then I don't recommend you doing a bright color that's such a huge contrast from your natural hair. That being said, mostly because the French curl is synthetic, and synthetic hair shows up more with louder colors and has a more shinier finish. So if I did do this particular hairstyle in black, I felt as though it would translate a lot more naturally and it would be more easy on the eye, and yeah, it would just blend with me a bit better. Maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm overlooking it. You guys let me know in the comment section when you finish watching the video what you think. But yeah, so for the braid pattern that I'm going to be doing, I'm doing single individual braids around the front only. Initially I was going to do this around the perimeter of the hair because I was like, you know what, it'd be cool to put this hair in a ponytail, but look, I just had a baby and I don't have time to sit there and do individuals around my entire perimeter, so I just left it as is in the front. So feel free to do the same pattern all over if you like. Tweak it to your own desired style preference. So this is what I'm doing. So I just did 2 lines of the individual braids. Mind you, I'm not braiding all the way from the top to the bottom. I'm only braiding about 1 inch at the base. So please, you would have to forgive my insane amount of gray hair because your girl is tired, stressed, and slightly deficient in iron, but who isn't? Anyway, so you want to do it on both sides of your hair. The reason I parted my hair down the middle is because I'm aiming for a middle part. So if you were to desire a side part, then you would obviously do that according to the parting that you desire. So I am right now just kind of creating another vertical line to further define that middle part. So I'm gonna do the same thing, but honestly you don't really have to do this single box again for your sectional part, just because I found that it was quite useless and a waste of my time. So you could have just cornrowed this part if you so desired, but just for the sake of aesthetic, let's just go ahead and do the singles and just be consistent. But it's absolutely unnecessary, so don't waste your time if you don't have to. Anyway, so you want to proceed to do it on the left and the right side, and then I'll be right back to show you guys what's next. Look, the reason I spent a good amount of time talking about braid pattern before crochet is because it's probably the most important step in a crochet install. And a reason being that the way your hair falls on your face is so crucial when it comes to crochet because it can literally make or break your crochet install. And also just braid pattern can also create like a sense of flatness. You want to get your hair as flat as possible. That's also very important because you don't want it to look like you're crocheting on top of a bulky wig, if that makes sense. So braid pattern is so important. Your hair type will determine, and the hairstyle and the way you're going to style the hair is, you know, very important that you do the most appropriate braid pattern to suit that, because you don't want to do, you know, donuts braid pattern for a hairstyle like this, because then it's gonna look funky and not look as natural as possible. So you want to take your time and figure out the most appropriate braid pattern and do that accordingly. Whew, that was a mouthful. Okay guys, so as you can see, I start off braiding the base, the back part of my hair. I do a slight zigzag braid. The reason I always do this particular style at the base of all my crochet is that it allows the hair to kind of start as far back as possible, because if I did all backs without doing that zigzag, the way you connect the hair at the ends would not allow your cornrow base to start as far back as possible. Therefore, when you're done, the hang time of your hair will start slightly above, which is weird and kind of funky and kind of irritates me. So I kind of like to give that flow from top to bottom, like as bottom as we can get it, by incorporating that zigzag braid. And then just proceed to do your cornrow as you desire. I just followed the box parting to kind of cut that cornrows. I believe I had a total of 12 cornrows going back. So yeah, just take your time. It's very important. And also you try and get it as neat as you can, because obviously your hair will last longer, so that's very important. So take your time. If you don't know how to cornrow your hair, maybe I'll do a separate video, but it's very easy, you guys. You should not know how to cornrow your hair in 2024. That would be very awkward. But please just try and watch a couple of my videos. It's very easy. I think I did one with a mannequin a long time ago. I'll try and find the video, but super easy. Anyways, you want to connect the tail ends of your braids, and when you're done, you have one last braid and you can crochet that part to hide all traces of your cornrows. You don't want anyone to be able to detect where they start and where they end. And that is how you prepare your base for cornrows. I mean, for crochet. So this is the crochet French curl. I got mine in different lengths. I'm gonna put the details in the video description, so make sure you guys check it out. The reason being that I wanted layers throughout the hair, so if you want it all to be one length, you can go ahead and get one length. They have different length options for you to choose from, so just take your time and figure out what look you want and pick accordingly. So one thing I want to let you guys know is that crochet hair is synthetic hair, unless maybe you bought from a vendor that uses human hair to hand make their own crochet product, then it's most likely going to be synthetic hair. And the louder the color is, the louder the shine and the louder the silkiness of the hair is. French curl hair, if you're a braider, you know that French curl hair is probably the most silkiest hair to braid with, and one of the most difficult and tedious, but the result is absolutely fabulous. But because we're not trying to go through that struggle, that is why we're here using this crochet hair to mimic that look. Okay, so when you're installing these, be mindful that when you do your loop, it may unravel slightly. Now I'm going to show you guys what I did to combat that in the front area of my hair, which was the most important. I didn't really care about the back because I felt like the friction from my natural hair and the silkiness balanced the back part of the hair, but for the front part I had to get creative. So when I did my loop, I went back in to double loop the base, and I'll show you guys really quickly here. When I did the first loop, I went back, put my latch hook through the base and pull the base out one more time to create a double loop and a stronger base. I did this throughout the front part of my perimeter because I wanted it to mimic a realistic knotless braids knot. You see how that kind of pulled on that section because the hair is silky, so I had to go back in and pull that hair again through the base to create a tighter and smaller knot at the base. So do that, but be very mindful. Make sure not to do your individual cornrows in the perimeter too small, that way you don't break off your hair. So just kind of be mindful of the size of the crochet and the density of your individual braids at the front, so as to not cause an imbalance with weight distribution. Does that make sense? So if your hair is braided too small and the crochet hair is too thick, it's gonna break your hair. If the hair is if your individual braids is the same size as your crochet braids, then it's gonna be okay. So in terms of hair placement and mapping, what I did was I put the longest length, placed it at the back part of my crochet installation, and as I worked my way to the top and the front of my hair, I put the shorter lengths at those places to kind of create a layered natural look. I hope that makes sense. So you can just have fun with it, play with it, see what you like, see what you don't like. Okay, do I want it to look even throughout, or do I want it to be very dramatically layered or just slightly layered? Just whatever look works for you, go ahead and execute that. I'll kind of fast forward through this video and I'll catch you guys at the end. If you have any questions, by the way, just put it in the comment section. I may not read it, I may read it, I don't know. I'm kind of desensitized to notifications, but I'll do my best. So just put it in the comment section, and if someone else also kind of caught the answer, they can answer it for you, or we just help each other out. And I'll do my best to kind of go through the comments as well. Anyway, so that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like the video, leave a comment, positive or negative, and I will catch you guys on my next video. Have a merry day and God bless.